Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. I'm Catherine. I have a little visit and I got a little bit of work to do. What's on my desk? So I turned my camera on. I am still working on, fear not, I have two going at once. So I am still working on Gilbert and Sullivan. But this afternoon I feel like something sunny and cheerful. And come on, Mr. Rogers, he's sunny and cheerful. So I actually got a head start on this. It was evening, so I really couldn't turn on my camera. I don't have the best lighting in here for at night. So I got started and I just kept going. And before I knew it, I had all the pages in and I had the spine rebuilt and redone. So what I did with this one, I wanted this little golden book to be a little more elegant than the way I usually do them. Usually I do the standard, 2-inch spine that's flat and you can put buttons down it and that. And I just felt like going the extra mile on this one. So I built hold on, it's got threads all over it. I was trimming the insides. So I built a curved hidden hollow back spine in it, so you can see right there. There's the hollow back, and it was a little tricky to figure out because I wanted to do hidden hollow back spine. Usually with a hidden hollow back spine, the fabric that you sew your text block onto, the shoulders of that fabric get hidden underneath end papers so that you get a lovely finished look. And but the insides of this book, which is a rare thing, were so lovely. They were still in beautiful condition. This book's from 1975, I'm thinking. Yes, 1975. So it's 45 years? No. Oh, God. Yeah. 75, 25, and 20. 45 years old. Okay. So it's vintage. This was just so lovely. I didn't want to cover it with end papers. I wanted the new owner to be able to write their name because that's still beautifully untouched. So I had to figure out a way, and I decided the best way for me to do what I needed to do was to match the interior fabric with the exterior spine fabric and just have it still look like it's completely wrapped around, even though it isn't. I think it turned out nice. I'm happy with it. And I've put metal corners on the ends. They were a little bit, even though it's 1975, the corners had taken a bit of a beating. And I toyed with leaving, the original price tag was right here. That's the best I could get it off without doing any further damage. There was a price tag there that said 19 cents. And that's not even what I paid for it. You know what? I don't even know what I paid for it. But it was from, I think it was from Zellers. And those don't even exist up here in Canada anymore. We don't have any Zellers. So I toyed with leaving that there, but I really love all the bright different colors where it says Mr. Rogers Neighborhood. So I decided that I made an executive decision that since I was saving the little golden ex libris, the price tag was going to go. I mean, it still says 49 cents up here, and you can't get, what do they go for now? $4.99, I think, a brand new little golden book. They're not cheap, but they're still wonderful to have. Everyone's got their favorite little golden books, and I had never seen this one before, and I just love the story behind this. So I put 3 signatures into it. I used mostly, this is how much I love this book, I cracked open my stash of scrapbook paper. And I've just got lots of bright, vivid colors in here. And I'm very, very happy with how how it looks. I left the original pages in order. The first original signature is in with the front pages, and the second one is in with the back pages, and then the center signature is just blank pages for the next owner to do what they wish. And they're really nice and sturdy. There's a few that's thinner paper. I wanted some white in here, and of all things, I don't have any white scrapbook paper, so I just used some white legal size paper, and that worked out fine. So I think this is coming along nicely. I have a little bit of work to do in it today. I want to finish this edge. I don't like that raw edge there. So but I don't want to bulk it up with more rickrack. I covered the raw edge on this side with rickrack, and I don't want to bulk it up. So I think I am just going to run just a little bit of yellow ribbon down there. That's the plan. So we shall get to work. Now, where is my wet wipes? I've lost my wet wipes. Oh, up there. Sorry, I need a wet wipe because that fabric mat has seen better days. And when I'm going to do a teeny tiny thin strip, I don't want the tip, if it's all gunky, to make a mess of my teeny thin strip. So I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac because I'm gluing fabric to fabric. It's a really nice day up here where I am today. We've got sunshine, and it's not, the heat's gone. I'm just running it right along that edge. The heat is gone, so it's actually, if you're in the shade, it's chilly. And I'm okay with that. Like I've said before, I'm not a sun worshiper, so a heat worshiper, I should say. I just want to get that thread out of there. Yes, I enjoy sunshine. I don't enjoy being hot. Does that make sense? So I guess it's a good thing I'm up in Canada, but I'm still in Ontario, and we can get sweltering hot here in the summer. We get very bad humidity in Ontario. All right, let's do this. I'm going to leave myself a little room, and I can trim that later. Just going to pat this down. Gives that a nice, a nicer finish. Nice cheerful look. Some yellow with the daffodils. I guess those are daffodils. Maybe they're buttercups. Yeah, you know what? They look like buttercups. They don't look like daffodils. All right, I'm just going to do a quick there, let it finish drying, and then I'm going to trim it closer. So let's do the back. Now there was a little area here where I wanted to get a little bit of glue underneath. Hold on. Come on, glue. This is something I do if I need to get glue into a tiny spot. So I'll just give myself a little dot of glue, and then I'll use a pin and get a little bit of glue onto the pin, and then I run it into the little crevice where I need the glue. Come on. Boy, oh boy. That Fabri-Tac can be like mozzarella cheese. There we go. That's better. I'm still going to put glue on top. That side's all right. That's just because there's a tiny little bit of bulk from that rickrack. Now, another thing I do when I've made myself a little pile of glue there, I immediately fold it over and mush it down because I have many, many, many times plopped the thing I'm working on right into the little pile of glue, and then was a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth. And I clean the needle off while it's still wet. Alrighty, so let's do this again. I always can tell when it's time to add a bit of acetone to my Fabri-Tac because it starts doing the bubbling at the top. That usually is a sign that it's not runny enough to drain itself back down to the bottom. And the air traps it because it's too slow, because it's too thick, and it needs acetone. I'm not going to do that right now. That's very easy to do. Okay, so tiny, tiny, thin bit of Fabri-Tac. It's really hard to do a thin line, or at least I find, I don't know about you, of Fabri-Tac. It's very hard to do just a thin line of it. It wants to gloop out. I've tried to put a different nozzle on it so that it could be a smaller hole, but then it doesn't want to come out of it. So you just have to make the best of a bad situation. There we go. I'm going to be doing a lot of gluing in of, I want to put lots of colorful rickrack on some of the page edges and a bit of lace, and I opted not to sew them in because I didn't want the one side to look icky, especially because I would be sewing through thicker cardstock, so it definitely would be kind of nasty looking on one side. And there is a technique to sewing it if you're doing lace so that the messy side is hidden. But for this time, I'm just opting to just go with glue, because especially I also don't want, I just want to notice the pretty rickrack and not stitching down the rickrack. You know what I mean? So again, I'm leaving these long on purpose for now. I want to let it dry. I'll come back to them and trim them later. Now, here, I want to put some ribbon. I was hoping I had ribbon about this size in a nice bright yellow, but I don't. These are all my yellows that I've got. I've got this one. It's kind of a cotton that you can run ribbon through, those little holes. But here, I like to do this. See, it just doesn't have the pizzazz I'm looking for. I need ruffles. And then I thought about maybe going with red. I've got some red here. I have more red in my Christmas closet. Yeah, I have a whole closet devoted to Christmas. But when I put the red up against it, like say I'll put that one, this green and this red, it just starts screaming Christmas to me. Unfortunately, when you make an executive decision to either use green or red, it sort of limits your use of the other one because things start looking Christmassy. But if I just go with the green, then the green and yellow looks like spring and summer. So I like that. Spring and summer makes me happy. So we're going to go with that. And I think it balances it too. Because this isn't quite the green that's in the letters or the green that's in the grass. But I think the yellow balances it. There's a lighter shade of green in the fabric that matches with this green. I'm still okay with how that looks. So this is short. I can't put the lace on that, but I can put the lace on this. Now what I want to do is, because I'm using glue, I'm going to, just so that the opening page is really attractive, I'm going to glue it on the other side of that blue page. So we're going to do that now. Now sometimes when I'm working on a book and I don't feel like stressing it out for now, I will use one of my bricks and just put it behind so I can lean the book up on the brick. And if the pages try to start avalanching on you, just put a clip on them and you should be good to go. All right, so the lace has a nice side, a nicer side. Not totally nice. Unfortunately, I wish that was cotton, but it's not. I'll see in the end how bulky the book turns out, and I may possibly run ribbon over it to finish that. We'll see. I may not dislike it so much. So I want to make sure that I put the unattractive side against that edge, and then it will be buried in underneath, and that side will look nice. Okay, does that make sense? And because this is bulky and curly and is going to get in my way, I'm going to cut it ahead of time. And I'm going to just err on the side of caution and give myself a little bit more room, just in case. So I'm going to put some paper underneath in case my glue decides to squoosh out. And then I'm going to try and run another thin line of Fabri-Tac again. Let's see if we can pull this off. There we go. And there's the icky side. So it will go down. That wants to try and curl for now. That's okay. I'll let it think it's going to do that, but I will straighten it out. Once it starts drying, it's a little easier to manage. Come on. My fingers want to stick to the glue. Now, here's what you need to do as well. You probably already know this, but I always presume that maybe someone new is here. And welcome if you're someone new and you're here. Come on, lift up. That glue oozed out a bit. There we go. You've got to check this side and make sure that the part you didn't want to see is behind the page. So, and that's the nice thing about Fabri-Tac. You've got a little more time. You can lift and reposition with Fabri-Tac. I'm sorry if you can't see this right now. I'll show you in a second. But Fabri-Tac is a little more forgiving time-wise than art glitter glue. Art glitter glue, boy, you have to be darn sure that that's where you want it to go. So this one, I want it down a little bit further too. I want it right on the edge, but I don't want those stitches showing because I don't like them. There we go. Okay, hold on and I'll show you. I know this is hard to see when I've got it vertical. I apologize. There we go. All right, so now I'll show you. See how it is now behind. So when the opening of the page, that presentation looks really nice. And then when you flip the page, this side isn't so bad because that, I don't know why they have that really dark, ugly, it almost looks like a dark brown or a dark black instead of green. So, all right, now I'm going to just trim this. Am I in camera? I am. Good. And just trim that flush with the page. There we go. You're in my way, brick. Thank you. There we go. cute. I think we can safely trim you now. That looks nice. Just gives a nice finish. You've gone to all that work to make it pretty. Just, I don't know, a little extra. That looks nice. Let's do the back. Are you down? I wonder if you need a little bit of a clip. We have ways. I'll give you another extra minute. Are you okay? Nope, you're not either. Hold on. We will make you cooperate as well. All right, so now here, I don't want to put lace on this page. And as far as it looking pretty, if I put the lace on the second last page, it will still give, it'll still give that nice look. It's so close to being the final page that I would rather have Mr. Rogers be fine. This paper is a little older, it's a little thinner, and I don't want to put lace on it. I'm going to put the lace on this page because this is thicker paper. So let's do that here. Where's my brick? There we go. And trying to decide. I think I still want to do it that way again. Okay, let's do that. Again, if you clean off any gobs at the end there, it will help you get a bit of a better thin line. I can't remember the last time I did a little golden book junk journal. I think it was the Shy Little Kitten. I think I was cleaning my room and I found a half-finished Shy Little Kitten. Now another thing to keep in mind, if this is your first time gluing down lace onto paper, it's tempting to want to grab your lace and pull it. Don't. Let it just sort of pat it into place, because if you stretch the lace, if you overstretch it, it will make your paper buckle because it'll want to contract itself. So just pat it down where it wants to go and let it go there. Because these laces, they do have a bit of stretch to them, and that little bit can really make a difference. Sorry, I have to hold this up again. Sorry. Boy, I say that like a Canadian, eh? Sorry. Yeah, it can buckle. So you don't want to do that. You want your page to lie nice and flat. That looks nice. I'm just going to trim that. And trim this side. See, come on. I didn't get right through, did I? There we go. You're not. Sorry, I'm a little fussy. Oh, and there I went. Said sorry again. Okay. All right, let me just make sure that's down. That looks nice. Let me look at that. Let me look at those. Now I'll close it and I'll show you. See what I mean? Once the book's closed, it's really not evident that this isn't on the last page. and it gives a little balance. Now I think I'll put something down the center. Down maybe this one, so that there's three little strips of lace. I'm not sure what color. Jeepers, I wish I had a frilly yellow. This one's too big, and it's too feminine looking. I don't want such girly lacy. I'm gonna have to raid my drawers again and see. Maybe white. Hold on, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna go check for some white. Okay, I think this will work. It's a little eyelet, and that's pretty. I want it to, like I said, not too feminine and frilly. An eyelet, I think of children when I think of eyelet. And this is sort of a creamy color. So let's put that in the middle. That'll look nice on the black. Okay. Let's put it on this one. Okay. Alrighty. So I want the nice side facing forward so that when you're looking at the closed book from the top down, it looks nice. And this thing is bulky, so I'm going to pre-trim, but give myself a little extra room. I'm not going to cut it precisely. I don't mind, you know, 1/4, 1/8 of an inch of waste. It's worth it to have it right. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. I'm sorry. Oh, I might go to sneeze again. Hold on. All right. One more. Sneezes always come in 3, right? Pardon me again. Sorry. All righty. So I'm going to glue this down that way on there. Where'd my paper go? There we go. This isn't very difficult. Like I said, this is not a tutorial. I just turned my camera on so we could have a little visit time together. There we go. Well, 2 out of 4 of my thrift stores, my little town has 4 thrift stores, and 2 have reopened and 2 are still closed. And I get it. The one store, and I really like this one little store, they have a very hard time getting volunteers. And I actually have thought about volunteering, but I'll tell you why I hesitate. Sorry, there's some water there. I'll tell you why I hesitate. I worry that I'm going to spend more time bringing home stuff if I volunteer at a thrift store. I'd have to really, really work on my self-control and strength. Yeah, because this little thrift store is run by the Ladies Auxiliary of our local hospital, and they desperately need help. And when I did go in and talk to them. At the time, they wanted, I needed to have all kinds of, I needed to have updated flu shot, I needed to have a tuberculosis test, an updated tuberculosis test. I needed all kinds of things done at the time, which makes sense because they like to be able to move their volunteers back and forth between the shop that's in the neighborhood, and they also have a little gift shop that they run inside the hospital. And you cannot work in the hospital without all these up-to-date screenings and vaccines and such, which makes sense. But at that time, oh, there goes my timer. Get it? Let me turn this off. Now, how much time have I got there? Oh, I got 2 minutes. At that time, it just wasn't going to be good for me. My dad was still alive at the time, and it was a lot of work on my plate, taking care of my mom and my dad. Very elderly, very severe health problems. And with my mom's dementia on top of Dad's health problems and Dad trying so fiercely to be independent, and it was just hard. And I just made the decision that the timing was not good for me to be volunteering. There we go. And then I thought after Dad passed that maybe the timing is now. But except for this pandemic, I really still, oh, that looks pretty. I really still like to be available in case Mom needs me right now. I'm all she's got. So I just don't think, you know how they say there's a time and a season for everything. And I just don't think it's my time or season yet to volunteer. I wouldn't want them counting on me and then I couldn't make it in. So not yet, but it's certainly, I can see myself doing that someday. There we go. All right. And I think I hit my 30 minutes. The last episode I did, I got cut off. I didn't even have a chance to say goodbye and thanks for visiting, and I hope you're all safe. So let me make sure I've got time now to say it. I do. It's 31 minutes. I gotta go. I hope you're all safe and healthy, and take care, and I hope we can visit again soon. The weekend's coming up, so I usually try and fit in a crafting time over the weekend. So take care, everyone. Talk soon. Bye.